it's Trina, and this week on Top 5 Wednesday, we are talking about the top 5 books that we finished in one sitting or close to one sitting. But Top 5 Wednesday was created by Ginger Reads Laney, and there's a link to her channel and to the Goodreads group down below, so don't forget to check that out. I don't often finish a book in just one sitting. It does happen sometimes, but usually it takes at least 2 days for me to get through a book because I just can't sit still for like 6 hours or however long it's going to take to read a book. So it's difficult for me to finish a book in just one sitting. I never understood how people could go buy the Harry Potter books at midnight and stay up and read them that night, especially reading them out loud to like their brothers and sisters, because reading out loud takes a lot longer to read. How do people do it? You guys are wizards. Yes. But I did come up with 5 books that I got through in just one sitting, so here's my list. At number 5, I'm going with Siege and Storm by Leigh Bardugo because I remember just being really gripped by this book and having a weird feeling that I couldn't put it down. Some people find it to be the slowest book in the series, but when I read it, I was just really into it, and I remember flying through it and staying up all night to finish it. It probably did take me 2 full days to finish it, but I read a big good chunk of it within only 1 day, so that's why I'm putting this on my list. At number 4, I'm going with After the End by Amy Plum. I read this book last year for a readathon, and I was reading it on the last day of the readathon, and I wanted to be able to finish it, so I just sat down and read it all in about 4 hours from start to finish. This is probably one of the only books that I have actually sat down and forced myself to read start to finish in 1 day, with the intention, knowing when I sat down with a book that I am not going to stop until I have finished the book. But the reason why it's only number 4 on this list is because I was reading it for a readathon, and I don't know that if I hadn't been doing the readathon, I don't know that this book would have been one that I just read all in one sitting. I don't know if it would have really gripped me that much. It was definitely interesting and kept my attention going because I didn't get bored and walk away from it, but I just don't really know how I can really gauge how much it was gripping me, since it was kind of an unusual situation. The next 2 books are from the same series and they're just very similar, so I'm going to talk about them together, but book number 3 and number 2 are The One and The Elite by Kara Cass. These are books 2 and 3 from the Selection series. I could not put these books down. I had to stay up all night to finish them. I did finish them in just 1 day. It wasn't one sitting, but it was within one 24-hour period. The other 2 books in the series, The Selection and The Heir, they were just as gripping to me, but I had to put them down in the middle for whatever reason, so I didn't technically finish those in 1 day, even though I know that I could have if I didn't have anything else getting in the way of it. But I did pick these 2 up with the intention that I was going to stay up until I finished them because I knew that the series was one that really gripped me. That's one of the reasons why I love this series so much, because it never felt like I was forcing myself to keep reading. It was like I was literally falling asleep and my eyeballs were closing and burning, and then I would get to the end of a chapter and just like, whoa, it woke me up. I had to know what was going to happen next. So I love the readability of these books, and I love the experience that they gave me. And the number 1 book I finished in one sitting is We Were Liars by E. Lockhart, and this is just a really short book that I totally did not expect to finish in 1 day, but it only took me a couple hours to read this. It was just so gripping. I kind of figured out the ending at least halfway through, if not before, because I kind of went into it suspecting some things, thanks to all of the hype that was out there about this book at the time, but that didn't make it any less readable for me. It wasn't my favorite twist that ever happened, but I still flew through the book, and it was just a really enjoyable experience of piecing everything together and then finding out that I was right at the end. So I flew through it, totally did not expect to fly through it, and it was just a wonderful reading experience. Those are the books that I finished in roughly one sitting. Let me know what books you finished that quickly down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the comments. Bye! Topic this week is the top 5 long hair. Ugh. Hey. Siege and Storm by Leigh Bardugo. This is book. I'll see you down there. That's awful.